Hello everyone and welcome to my part 2 of all my dresses. I'm Deb and this is DB Designs and Sewing Australia. Welcome back if you're a subscriber and welcome if you're new to my channel. I have got a lot of dresses. I've got 2 ready-to-wear dresses and 23 me-made dresses. So let's start, and I'm starting with the oldest ones first. The first one I've got is a ready-to-wear dress. Now this is a cotton dress that my sister gave me when I was going to Bali in 2019, and she said, here, take this, you might get some wear out of it. So, and I asked her if she wanted it back and she said no. So yeah, I do wear that around the pool when I'm away on holidays, although it does crease up quite a bit. The second one I've got is another ready to wear that I bought while I was in Bali in 2019, and it's a tie-dyed dress. You can see it's got that effect from the shoulder all the way down the sleeve, and it's really just a dress that I bought, I think, at a market to pop on over bathers. Now on to the next ones, which are all me-made ones. The first one is a Spellbound Dress by Pattern Emporium, and this is in a navy duck print stretch, actually it's stretch cotton from Spotlight, and I made this in January 2019. So I've had this dress for a lot of years and I have worn it every single summer. It's an excellent pattern and it's a really comfortable dress. And when you go to the beach and you put it on, you know, you can screw it up and put it in the beach bag and it doesn't look like a big creased up mess, unlike the 100% cotton ones with no spandex in them. The next one I've got is a Simplicity. This is a 586AA Simplicity, and it's in a floral print, cotton sateen from Spotlight. Now I made this in March 2019 and I actually made it to wear to my nephew's wedding, which was up at a winery in the Yarra Valley. And so it was really, really hot. It was a long weekend of March, and so it was very, very hot. Unfortunately, this dress is really, really big on me now. I will be inserting photos all the time, so I'll try and stay over this side a bit. And it's really big in the bust, but because of the style of dress it is, and because I love the fabric, I'm hoping I can pull it apart, which means take all the facings and everything out, probably take the zip out because I will need to take it in down the center back, and see if I can make it much smaller. It has got princess seams, so it does mean that you do have the opportunity to alter the fit, but you would need to take all of the facings off, which is no big deal. You could do that. That's not, I really love the fabric, and it's the cotton sateen with a bit of a stretch in it. You can see it's got, not just on the bias, but you can see it's got a little bit of a stretch in it. And I think it was actually a size 18 I made at that time, and so that's why it's too big now. But love that fabric, and hopefully I can turn that into something else. I won't be getting rid of it. The next thing I have is a kilo wrap dress. Now this is in a scuba knit from Spotlight. And I really like it, but it is too big. You're probably thinking, well, it's a wrap dress, so it just wraps around you. You know how the kilo wrap dress works. Pull it out, tie it around the front or the back, but it gets a bit of a gape in the neck. I don't know if I could take it in. I actually like it. I actually made it in that same period of time. I made it in June 2019, and I actually made it to take to Bali, which I did. And I wore it as a good dress while I was in Bali. And it fitted me at that time, but it is slightly too big now. Haven't decided what I'll do with it or whether my sister Helen might like that. I don't know, I'll have to take some things away with me on Sisters Weekend to see if it fits any of the others and if they want it. So really like this pattern. Very unusual how it comes together. Anybody who's made the kilo wrap dress, you think, what are these pattern pieces? But yeah, quite a quirky dress and looks really, really nice when it fits you. Now the next dress I've got is the Kosice Dress by Itch to Stitch. I just love this fabric. Love, love, love this fabric. And I purchased this fabric when I was in Bali. So obviously I made it when I came back. I made it in October 2020, a year after I came back. But it's so big. It is really, really big. And I should have remembered that Itch to Stitch is very oversized with their patterns. So I don't know if my sister Helen would wear it because it might be a bit short. It's actually a pretty short dress, but I will see if she wants it. I do sometimes try and wear it with a belt, but yeah, it's really so big in the neck and the shoulders now. I don't even know. Well, maybe I could tighten that elastic. I could give that a go because it does have elastic there that goes through into like it's the whole shoulder that's elastic. I guess I could tighten that elastic and see if it brings it up because it sort of is a bit revealing. But I'll have to see how I go with that, or if it fits Helen, she might want it. Now the next dress I've got is the Armadale Dress by Style Arc. Now this is in a green and white spot rayon that I bought from Spotlight. And I made this in November 2020. The buttons are non-functioning, and when I made it, it was a firmer fit than it is now. And so I have added, as you'll see, a little tiny heart button at the top, just so that it's not so girls' day out indeed. Yeah, but Armadale Dress, one of my favourite dresses. I have got another one that I'll show you coming up that I did make a tiny bit smaller than this one, but still very easy to wear. I actually don't even wear a petticoat. I slip under this dress anymore. It's just really breezy dress. So, and I really love the length of the Armadale dresses. I actually think that I quite like well, I guess they're not ultra maxi dresses because they come down to nearly my ankles, but not quite. So remembering I'm only 5'4", so sometimes things that are long can make you look really short, but really happy with the length of them. So that's the Armadale dress. Really, really pleased with that dress, and will certainly be keeping that in my wardrobe. Now the next dress I have is the Canberra dress by Merchant & Mills. And this fabric is an Atelier Brunette double gauze that I actually purchased from May Design, where I'm going to for my Nerida Hanson Big Sewing Day Out. So I really, really like this dress. Quite high in the neck for me, but just another summer staple. But this is a shorter style of dress, and it's got a really pretty gold. You can't see that sparkling, but it does sparkle. Really pretty gold in the double gauze. So that's a really nice dress, and that will be staying. The next I have another Spellbound dress by Pattern Emporium, and this is Chartreuse with white spot cotton spandex that I bought from Spotlight. Although not really my colouring, I just don't usually ever wear anything that's yellow or mustard or chartreuse, but another very easy wear dress, great for the beach. Now these are some of the dresses that I made a few years ago. When did I make this one? I made this in December 2021. And so some of the time when my daughter had been going to work, I had been going and staying and taking the kids to, it's not called Vic Swim, it's called whatever the surf life-saving thing's called, because you actually go to the beach every single day, every single morning for, I don't know, 10 days, where they do sort of swimming lessons and a bit of life-saving lessons down at the beach, because they live near the beach. And it's in the surf beach. So I had a whole lot of dresses and a different dress for every day. One of the years my sister Sue came with me, and when the kids had finished their swimming lessons, then we went swimming with them in the ocean. So when you get back to your bag, I need to put on a dress straight away over wet bathers and take kids that are turning blue and freezing, who are in wetsuits, and I'm not in a wetsuit, up to the showers and shower them. So it needs to be something that's very easy to get on because you're wet, and doesn't matter if you get wet under the shower when you're stripping wetsuits off them and trying to dry them and all that sort of stuff. So very handy dress. I have worn it heaps, even though it's not my colour. So the next thing I made was a pixie dress by Style Arc. Now, this pixie dress is in a black rayon. I have no idea where I got this black rayon from. It was just in my stash, and this was my trial to see if the pixie dress fitted me and if I liked the way it looked. But I liked it so much in the black, insert photo Deborah, that I finished it off. Now, I didn't have enough of the rayon to put the flounce, not a frill, it's a flounce on the sleeve, but I did manage to put this little kicked knife pleat on the bottom, which I just sort of made up as I went along to see how much of it I had. It's got a couple of joins in it, not that you'd know. So I really, really like the black dress. I think it looks really good. Wear it with pearls. So the next dress I made, which was also in October 2022. Was that in October 2022? Yes, it was. Is the other pixie dress that I had on yesterday and clearly haven't washed and ironed. Look at it. And this is in a cotton lawn from a bespoke box called The Secret Garden. And you know what? I think that might have been my first bespoke box ever from the Dahlia Sewciety. I absolutely love this dress. And I love the fabric, and you can see how cool and breezy it is. But yesterday I had no petticoat, no slip under it, and you could not see through it. So even though it looks like you can see through it now, probably if I stood in front of a window, my mother would say that she can see right through that. But so that's my pixie dresses, and I absolutely love them. I think it's a really, really good pattern. Someone asked me yesterday what size I made, and I made the 14s in them. But that's why I tested it out with the black one to make sure before I cut in to that really beautiful Secret Garden cotton lawn. But it's a really fabulous dress. Now, the next dress I've got is the Wildwood Wrap Dress. Now, I've made this in quite a heavy linen. You can actually see how heavy that linen is. This has been, I have worn this a fair few times, so it will have been washed a fair few times because I made it in November 2022, so I must have worn it to 2 different Christmas things where the same people weren't at, in December 2022. And this is a heavyweight linen, and it's from Rainbow Fabrics in Australia. They're in New South Wales, and I must have bought it online. So I actually have really good deals with their linen. And it's got an obi belt. I am happy with it, but I find I do need to pin the front to stop it from gaping. So if I take this obi belt off. Oh, and I didn't do a tie here. I did a little button. And on the inside, I just used a piece of ribbon to tie those two other sections together. I have shifted that button over a fair few times to make it tighter. But I'm always working out the fit of it based on the minute I put it on, not the fact that linen relaxes and gives part of the way through the wear. So it's actually a really gorgeous pattern, and I think I'd like to make this up in a lighter weight fabric just to see how it goes. But it's really, really nice. I love the obi belt. You know, I'm a belts person, and quite frankly, when it's a little bit loose, you can't tell because you've got the belt on it, so no one would ever know. So that's my Wildwood dress by Sew House 7. Now the next dress I've got was my first make for 2023, and I made it in January in 2023, and it's my Taika Blouse Dress by Named Patterns. I'm not sure if it's Tika or Taika, or maybe it's Taika. Maybe that sounds more like it. And I made this in January in 2023, and this is the Boho Goddess fabric from my bespoke box from the Dahlia Sewciety. I really love this dress pattern. It actually reminds me of the Armadale dress quite a bit, except the Armadale dress, of course, got a collar on it and comes up under the bust like that. Once again, I've stitched the front closed and the buttons are just there for effect. I have no problem getting any of these dresses over my head because none of them are actually very tight. This is a very comfortable dress. I wear this quite often. And for someone that doesn't really wear apricot-y sort of colours, I actually really love the fabric. It is really nice, and I think this dress looks really nice. Once again, love the length of it. Love the length of this dress. The only thing I can say is, when thinking about this pattern and when I made it, I was surprised that it looked like the sleeve was a puff sleeve, but it's not really a puff sleeve. It's just a sleeve with elastic in it. There's not really very much in that sleeve, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I was surprised when I put it on that it was like that. So I must have tried it on before I had a sleeve in it. And then when I put the sleeve in, I thought, oh, how is this going to look like it's a puff sleeve? But it doesn't look like it's a puff sleeve. It just looks like it's got a little frill on the bottom, which is what that elastic effect there gives you. Yeah, and it is just turned up, stitch a channel in it and pull your elastic through. But love this dress. In fact, I think most things I have from Named Patterns I've really liked. The next dress I have is the Lola Dress from Forget Me Not Patterns. And this fabric was from the L'Amour bespoke box from the Dahlia Sewciety. This is way too big for me. Way too big for me. I could put a pin and pull in 4 inches at the back of the neck. I don't think it looks very good on me. I'm not sure if it's the colour or I'm not sure if it's the style or I'm not sure if it's because it's so big. I have worn it, I feel really frumpy in it. And I've used the tie belt. I've also tried it on with another hessian-y looking elasticated belt that I've made. It just doesn't look good. So I suspect this will fit my sister Helen, and she is a much fairer colouring than me. So whereas I have brown eyes, she has blue eyes. So she's not the same colouring as me. So I suspect this colour may look much better on her than it does on me. It's actually got quite a lot of lovely pattern design in it and quite a bit of work that goes into it. And I do know that when I give Helen things I've made that are too big for me, she actually wears them. I went to a function at one of my other sister's houses once, and she had on the blouse that I'd made that was a viscose blouse, the one with all of those tiny buttons all over it and all up the sleeve, that was way too big for me because for some ridiculous reason I made the size 44. Well, it fitted her perfectly and she wears it. So really happy to rehome clothing items to people who actually will wear them, which is great. So I'll take that on the Sisters Weekend. Now the next one I've got, which will be my final one because I will have to do a part 3 because it's just getting too long, is another Armadale dress. This is one of my favourite Armadale dresses, but that's just because I'm in love with the fabric. And the fabric's actually called Orchid Blue, and it's a rayon from Spotlight. And they still have some there because every time I look, I think, oh, I just love that fabric. Every time I walk past it. And I made this in March 2023. It really is one of my favourite dresses, and every time I wear this, people always go, oh, that's such a beautiful dress. Yeah. Once again, front stitched down, buttons are just there for effect. Now this version, they all have pockets. This version is slightly smaller than my green with white spots version. So I don't think I actually cut a different size. I think I just took much bigger seam allowances in the skirt and gathered the bust in a little bit more, knowing that the green and white spot one was just a little bit loose. Not too big, just a bit looser than I would normally wear it. And so really happy with the fit on this one. Really, really happy with the fit at the moment. And that's just a changing body. So I'm never going to get rid of the green and white spot one because goodness only knows I might need to wear it again. So, yeah, beautiful. Loving this fabric. That's it. And I will come back to you with part 3. And part 3 goes from September 2023. And it's all, oh, it's got my summer in New York dresses in it. So stay tuned. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will be back shortly with part 3, where we'll continue on with all of my summer dresses. Have a great day. Bye.